advertising is great for the traffic, which is why I'm up here. I want you guys to get the traffic, but I want you guys to own that relationship after that. You don't want it to be, a one-night stand kind of situation. You want to woo them. Traffic and leads is how you do that. Not first and 15th, just every 30th, 31st, they snatch my money, y'all. And I was like, I don't have anything to show for it. These ads are not working. Did I give up then? No. I kept going. So, I will warn you, this presentation, my love language is memes and gifts. So it's a lot of those up in here. So anybody recognize this specific gift from a specific movie? $40. That's how y'all be acting when y'all be talking to me, talking about how much you want me to spend on ads? 40 bucks? I don't think so. So let's talk about ads and money, because this is a question I get a lot of. How much? Well, first and foremost, we gotta back up. We gotta talk about advertising. It's not just on Facebook and Instagram. I want you to think about advertising on other platforms. We've got Facebook and Instagram, of course, TikTok, YouTube, Google and Bing. Do not rule out Google and Bing. LinkedIn, Snapchat, Twitter. This image is actually from the very first TSP Live, and I did this in Canva since Lamar got a problem with Canva. I made this graphic in Canva. But this Facebook ads formula is actually a formula that goes across all ads platforms. The right offer, plus the right ad, plus the right audience. So I'm so glad that we heard from Jason. Everybody enjoyed Jason's session earlier today? The way I was jotting down notes, I was like, this man just kind of queued me up a little bit. I appreciate that. Because the right offer is so important, and I think that's what a lot of people are missing. A lot of people are also missing the right ad because they don't know what kind of creative to do. And then a lot of people are missing the right audience. You need all three. This is also something I made in Canva. This is from, I think, Game Plan 2018 or 19. And Lamar was on the stage and he says his favorite line, "It depends, but it do be dependent." So where should you advertise? I get this question a lot. And again, it do be dependent. So I'm not always gonna tell you do Facebook. I'm not always gonna tell you do Instagram. Just because they pay me doesn't mean I don't think that you should advertise on other platforms. So no matter where you advertise, you're gonna go through these same ad objectives. You either have awareness to let people know what your brand is. You've got engagement to let people know, hey, I actually want to talk to you in the comments. I want you to like my things. I want you to react. I want you to share it. Traffic. Part of this conference's name is traffic. You want people to go to your website. Leads. This is for people who want to capture people's email addresses, phone numbers. They want to make sure that the conversation keeps flowing and going. And then conversions, which is what a lot of people jump to. That's how you get your money. Now, a lot of y'all be coming at me looking like this. I need that money, Briana. I need it right now. So the first thing that y'all do, y'all don't run any other kind of ads except for conversions. I need y'all to reconsider. Conversions, again, does get you to the money, but then y'all don't be wanting to talk about the pixel. Who has pixel woes in here? Who be like pixel and it's a jump scare? So if you're not ready for that, now, I will say that you can't get away from the pixel. It's just no turning back. But I don't want you to go straight to conversions. Tonight, I actually want to talk to you about traffic and leads. And I see a lot of these faces right now. Why can't I just go straight to the money? Because you got to get the traffic and you got to get the leads. People are not converting because not enough people are seeing your things. Not enough people are getting to your website. Not enough people are on your email list. And Lord knows some of y'all were like, ooh, text marketing, and then I never got a text from you again. So I want you guys to really think about those two specifically before you get to the conversions piece of it. So, I'm a single lady. I've been single for a minute. I've been divorced for a while. And I've tried dating app after dating app. And what I am here to tell you is that ads are just like them. You have to woo them. You have to woo the people. For those of you who have tried these dating apps, folks are just going straight. I'm like, you don't know my middle name. How are we getting to this situation already? You have to woo them first. Traffic and leads are wooing your people. Warm them up a little bit. Get cozy, get to know them. And then you can get them riled up. I took these slides to my friend, and he was like, I think you're coming off a little hood with all these memes and gifs. For those who don't know, I grew up in Carson, California, which is right next door to Compton and Long Beach. Let's go, let's go. So I didn't have a choice, really. So what is riled up? I made this up. This is my framework, but I would like to bestow it upon anybody who would listen. Even Facebook be like, who came up with that? It was me, child. It's all right. So RYLE stands for retargeting, interest-based, lookalikes, existing customers. Retargeting, you guys have probably heard from them. I had a client who used to call them stalker ads. She was like, they just keep following me around the internet. I'm like, girl, it's not that deep. But this is for people who have interacted with your brand online, whether it's your website or your social media. You want to keep in track. You want to keep in touch with those people. Interest-based. This is where I spend the most time and where I have the most fun, but I know a lot of people have issues with the interest-based, so we'll dive into that. You might have heard them called cold audiences or core audiences. This is using Facebook's detailed targeting feature, Meta, whatever we want to be called today. Lookalike audiences. This was all the rage for a minute because a lot of people were like, ooh, I can find other people who are just like the folks that I like to talk to. And that's exactly what it is. For those who have used lookalike audiences, you have probably seen a percentage between 1 and 9, and we'll kind of talk about that too. And the E is where my heart sings. And this is where a lot of folks turn their nose up at it because they're like, if somebody's already bought from me, I don't have to market to them again. Wrong, wrong, wrong. And we'll talk about that in a second. So, retargeting. And you guys can take pictures, but the slides will be available also because I know that, images, and I know that y'all like to write on stuff. So retargeting. I like to retarget 6 different types of people. And when I tell you I use this framework for every single ad campaign, remember I've ran $3 million worth of ad campaigns. I've done this for every single one. Retargeting. People who visited your website in the last 7 days. How many of y'all be multitasking? Raise your hand. You got kids screaming, you got dogs barking, you cooking dinner, and somehow you got your phone in your hand, and you thought that you was about to buy something, and then that purchase didn't happen. You and the rest of the people that you are targeting. So I like to target people who have visited my website in the last 7 days because Lord knows that tab is still open somewhere, but they don't know where it is. Last 30 days. I personally be checking people's wallets. Folks like to get paid on the 1st and 15th or every other Friday. So if I capture their attention with my ad one day and payday passed or payday ain't came yet, I need to get them when payday comes back. Last 30 days, you got paid. Somebody gave you some money. Last 180 days. 180 days is essentially 6 months. That's a little further, but you will remember, especially if you saw the ad before, you'll be like, ooh, I remember I was looking at that and then I don't know what happened. Nobody knows what happened. Find those people in that twilight zone of the 6 months. And then page, Instagram, and video. This is what I specifically like about targeting on Facebook and Instagram. You can target people who like your Facebook page. Now, a lot of people have been on Facebook since I joined in 2007, and I was still in high school. So I liked a whole bunch of pages that didn't have nothing to do with nothing. People who like pickles. People who are the middle child, people who are, their mom's only child and then they got siblings somewhere. Like, I like all those pages. They have nothing to do with anything today. But I still like those pages and I never went back. So, you might be thinking like, oh, I used to have all the traffic on Facebook and everybody who liked my page was able to see it. Now they done forgot about you, child. So you might as well go ahead and retarget them. People who have interacted with your Instagram profile. How many of you have posted something and you're like, oh my gosh, it's getting steam, it's got some traffic, it got some views, and then nobody followed you? You're like, come back. How do I get their attention back? You retarget them. And then same thing with people who have viewed your videos. Everybody is on the Reels train right now. That's gonna be the best way that you get their eyeballs again. Interest-based, again, I spend the most time on this because it's just a lot of fun. You can target people who are similar to or close to your location. So for those of you who are, let's just say, in Atlanta area, you can target people in the United States, in Georgia, in the Atlanta metro area. I don't know what county this is, so forgive me. So whatever county that we're in, city, zip code, you can do all of that. Zip code, you can do a radius, which is nice. So if you have a brick and mortar business and you want people to come into it, you can actually target people who live locally. If you have a business that people are willing to travel for, I definitely recommend that you open up that radius so that more people can come in. Age group. Even though they're grouped like this, you don't have to stick in those ranges. The funny thing is, I don't know why we bother showing ads to people who are 13 to 17. One, they're not on our platform no more because all the aunties and uncles have gotten to it allegedly. And they ain't got no money. My nieces and nephews are broke. So I don't know why we're targeting 13 to 17-year-olds. But in any case, you can really target between 18 and 65 plus. That is the default. But if you know, like I know that there's a lot of women who are working with women over 40, do 40 plus. So that's an option for you. Gender, you can do male, female, or all, which includes other gender profiles. I leave it at all. The one time that I tried to target something with men only, I got nothing. Men, I don't know what y'all be doing with ads. What's happening? Y'all might click on it, but y'all ain't buying nothing right away. So I stopped doing that. But even with just female, if you know that it's a female related product or service, still open it up because you don't know who's shopping for who. Interest, this is where I have the most fun, you guys. So I know a lot of people have used our interest-based tool. The tricky thing with the interest-based tool is that there are some things that are in there that you're like, how did this get in here? And then there's some things that you're like, surely this should be in here. We also have had conversations about things that have been removed. And I know y'all gave me an earful on that. I am sorry. I am sorry. But the thing is, the interest-based tool is taking data from all over Facebook, all over websites that have our pixel on it. So for some people, it might be, you know, lashes is what I use the most because there's a lot of lash businesses out there. So if somebody likes lashes, you might want to put that in there. If somebody likes weaves, you might want to put that in there. If somebody likes makeup in general, you might want to put that in there. But I spend the most time in here because I can find a bunch of different combinations. Now, I know because this room is melanated just like I am, and we are specifically for a lot of us looking for other people who look like us, you gotta get creative. I know that's not the answer everybody wants, but that is the answer I gotta give to y'all. I know for our mastermind class, and maybe even for Elevate, we actually did some brainstorming about how to reach people who look like us. Think about music artists that we like. Think about TV shows. I know that they took out Essence Magazine. I know that they took out HBCUs. Again, I am sorry. But we have to get more creative about what our people like. We're not a monolith. So I want you guys to really think about other ways that you could target melanated folks. Connection is not as big anymore. People and their friends who are connected to your page, app, or event, that's available. And devices is not as relevant anymore thanks to the lovely iOS 14. If you don't know what that means and that doesn't make you shiver, I'm not here to make your nightmare happen. But just know that folks are still recovering from that. Lookalike audiences. I create all of these as well. Upload your entire list. People who have bought from you, people who have subscribed to your list, upload that, and then create a lookalike audience for it. High value, your high value people, your VIPs, your money spenders. You want to segment your customer list based off the people who have spent the most money with you, and you want more folks who look like that. You want the rich best friends. So make a lookalike audience for that. I was so excited when this came out, retargeting lookalikes. So you can create a lookalike audience based off of all the retargeting ones that we just mentioned. Same thing with page, Instagram, and video. Just like we mentioned for retargeting, create a lookalike for that. Existing customers is where I want a lot of you guys to spend your time. You are assuming that just because somebody bought from you one time that they're always going to buy from you and you never have to pay for marketing again, and that's just not true. There is a company that I used to buy from and I just forgot, you know, I just wasn't using the product anymore, moved, did a bunch of things. And it wasn't until I saw an ad where I was like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah, I haven't heard from them. Just like Lamar was mentioning suppression, I got suppressed. Now, my inbox looks a lot better than a lot of y'all inboxes. Unread messages, anybody? So you have to remember too that people are not reading their emails like that. So that's another reason why I also recommend that people do text-based marketing. But if you have people who just haven't bought from you in a while, you need to upload that list and retarget them and use ads. I also want you to hit your one-hit wonders, your Wayne wonders, if you will. Did Wayne Wonder have more than one hit? Okay, I'll take your word for it. I didn't hear it, but he in there. So your one-hit wonders are people who only bought from your store one time, or they only shopped with you one time. You want them to get you, you know, get back in the groove. Hey, remember us? Did you like what we gave you? Here's another option that we have. The unengaged people, we also kind of mentioned that earlier with Lamar. People who haven't bought from you in more than 30 days. Granted, depending on your product, it might take a little bit more time for them to get through your product or your service or what have you, but you still want them to remember, payday, remember, all right, it's time to buy from me again. Your 5-star reviewers. These are folks who are singing your praises. They cannot get enough of your product. You want more people like that. and the people who are non-reviewers, people who purchase but they didn't review. So you want to kind of know, like, what's up? Did you like my product? Does it stink? Do I not, serve your needs? I need to know that, so you need to retarget and hit them with an ad. So I want to speed through this really quick, but this is something that I am obsessed with. Eugene Schwartz's 5 levels of awareness. So this is I don't want to call it a pyramid scheme, but it's the best word for it. But at the bottom of the pyramid is the people who are unaware. And this is across the board. This is not just marketing, but I love it for this. These are people who don't know that there's a better way. There are so many people out there who they don't even know that they have a problem. So I think Jason kind of touched on this earlier today. And I have a little snowflake here between unaware and problem aware because these are your cold audiences. So the unaware people, it's hard to target and market them and convert them, which is again why I'm pushing for traffic and leads, because they don't even know that they got a problem. So you want to make sure that you know how to adjust your ad language with that, and we'll talk about that in a second. The problem aware people, they are aware of a problem, but not the solutions. They're just walking around here like upset. They're in their nightmare. They're in their hell, as Jason said, but they don't know what to do about it. You're going to talk to them differently than the solution-aware people. They are aware that there is a solution, just not yours specifically. So now they've been researching, now they've been thinking about it, and they want to know, okay, what am I supposed to do now? And then that's when your ad amazingly pops across their screen. Now the product-aware people, so solution-aware got a little temperature, we're warming up a little bit, and then the product-aware and most-aware people are hot. These are people who are ready to buy. The product-aware people are aware of your product, but they haven't bought it yet. The example I always use is Bombas socks. I saw Bombas socks ads on Pinterest for the better part of maybe 18 months. I now have 50 pairs of Bombas socks, y'all. I was like, ain't no way I'm about to spend no $14 for a pair of socks. I can just get socks from wherever my mama get my socks from. And then I tried them. And then I was like, hold on. So however much money Bombas spent on me seeing their ads, paid off, because again, 50 pairs of socks is no joke. And that's just mine. I got some for everybody. If I love you, I got you a pair of socks. So I want you to think about like it's a longer game than this too. And then you've got the most aware people. So for Bombas, I moved from product aware to most aware. I am now their biggest fan. Anybody got socks, I'm like, hey, I got some better ones. So your best and most valuable customers, these are your brand evangelists, it's literally nobody. Somebody, oh my gosh, have you heard about such and such? Like you want people like that. So when it comes to your ads, same pyramid. For the unaware people, these are your interest-based audiences. These are folks who they don't know you from Adam. So you need to make sure that you convince them, like, hey, we're here when you're ready. But again, it's gonna take time. They're not gonna convert just from seeing you. There's a statistic that it takes 7 brand touch points before somebody buys. Poor Bombas probably hit me like 50 times, but I bought 50 pairs of socks. But you gotta think about it in the long game. Problem-aware people are going to be in the lookalike audiences. So these are people who are similar to the people who have bought from you, but again, they still don't really know who you are or what you offer. Solution-aware people are going to be a mix of the two. So you can kind of combine them. Product-aware people are going to be your retargeting audiences that we talked about earlier. And then the most aware are going to be your existing customers. These people are hot, hot, hot. So how do you write ads for these specific audiences? For the unaware people, you want stories that hit on the pain points. You want them being like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I was hurt. I didn't even know I was suffering. I didn't know what I was missing. I didn't know that I needed something. They need stories that hit that and be like, oh my God, is that me? You want those kinds of stories in your ads. For the problem-aware people, benefits of your product for their problem. So let's just use eczema for example. One of my good friends has eczema and it's been flaring up really bad. So I'm like, okay, well, what is the pain point? She's like, it's itching, it's burning, it's cracking. So if I know that these are the words that she's using and I sell an eczema cream, I need to put that in my ads. Are you experiencing itching? Are you experiencing burning? Are you experiencing cracking? Use the words that the people are using about their problems in your ads. That's how people are going to be like, hold on, let me stop scrolling. Let me see if this is something that I can use. Solution-aware people, testimonials, and proof that your product works. How many of you have bought a product from an ad and you're like, well, this is raggedy. I should have looked at somebody's review. So people are looking to make sure that their money is kept, to themselves unless it's something that is proven to work. I used to have a client who did microblading, and she was like, oh yeah, we can do some ads and people are just gonna buy from me from Instagram. I was like, you want people to buy from you with no testimonials and you touching their eyebrows permanently? I said, girl, that is not gonna work. Not a chance. So people need to make sure, depending on what it is that you offer, especially if the possibility of things going left is real high, you need testimonials. Product aware. Folks love a good discount. I am the same. I think I ran a poll one time and I asked people if they would prefer free shipping or discount off. Folks love free shipping. And I don't know if it's a psychological thing, like, we were just talking about Amazon and how they jacked us up. People are like, I gotta pay for shipping. How else is it gonna get to your house? I don't make the rules. But I asked, okay, well, when is that tipping point gonna happen? And most people said 20%. Do you know how many 5 and 10% off things I see and roll my eyes and throw my phone? Ain't nobody looking for no 5 or 10% off. I know that cuts into your profit margins though, so I want you to be mindful about that. But for these people who are product aware, discounts work really well. And then your most aware people, because they bought from you already and they're already singing your praises, you want to make sure that your ad is focusing on a product that they either don't have yet or the price got cut. I have an oil that I love, and I can only use so much oil, y'all. I don't want to be slipping and sliding across the stage. But I have like 5 unused bottles of oil because they keep hitting me with a new scent and a new offer. And I'm gonna keep buying it because I know that it works and I know that I like it. So that's gonna convert the people. So again, I know that you guys do not like traffic and leads because it doesn't get straight to the money. But this specifically is why I tell you guys this. For those of you who have ran ads before and you ran it for conversions and it didn't work, were you able to recoup that money? Do you even know who saw the ad? So what I'm trying to encourage people to do, especially for platforms that you don't own, which is the majority of these platforms that we advertise on, get people off of those platforms and onto your list. You own your list. And it's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to actually interact with people on your list, whether that's an email or a text, than to keep advertising to them on these platforms. Advertising is great for the traffic, which is why I'm up here. I want you guys to get the traffic, but I want you guys to own that relationship after that. You don't want it to be, a one-night stand kind of situation. You want to woo them. Traffic and leads is how you do that. This is probably where I went left with the gifts, but I couldn't help it. Now that I think about it, I don't know why I put that with this specific, content, but it's here now. We're here. So why traffic and leads? It's the most cost effective, especially when you're first starting. So I know a lot of people are nervous about starting with their ads, so this is why I tell you to start with traffic and leads before you get to conversions. The ability to retarget is unprecedented. You cannot get this on TV and billboards and things like that. Intention versus impulse. I buy a lot of my things from Instagram ads off of impulse because I'm like, I got the money, I got paid. I think I want an extra weighted blanket. My mom is like, you have 4 now. They got me. It's an impulse buy. And then you own the relationship. All right, so BrianaKnowsAds.com. There's a TSP link at the top, so it's not necessarily /TSP, it's BrianaKnowsAds.com. If you spell my name wrong, because I know y'all can't spell my name right sometimes, if you put it with 2 N's, it's still gonna go to BrianaKnowsAds.com. You get the slides and free training videos. That's all I got. All right. I am not sure if we're doing questions. If someone could let me know. Questions? All right. Oh. 1 question, 2 questions. I want y'all to get what you need. It's probably only going to be 1 from each side, but I will be here because I practically live here, y'all. Okay. Right here?
All right. Hi, my name is Candice Janae. I'm a digital marketing and automation strategist and business coach. I'm the CEO of Epic Fab Girl, where we help Christian women entrepreneurs scale their businesses to 6 figures and beyond. My question is about the retargeting that's based off of Instagram Reels and video content.
Mm-hmm.
Are there time limits based on that? So how there are, for your website, you can target based on people who visited within the last 7 days.
Yeah.
So is the video based on like the retargeting for the video views, is it based on a certain period of time?
Up to 365 days.
Okay.
So if you had a reel and you were like, dang, that was last June, like check and see if it was June 21st.
Love it. Thank you.
Of course.
This has been so great.
Thank you. And one over here. And like I said, I'll be back here somewhere, so if we can't get to you, go for it.
Hi, my name is Kelsey. I am a social media strategist and consultant. I help businesses who do not have time to create content to create that content for them so they can be totally hands-free with social media. My question is, I've been helping a lot of realtors and they are not seeing the leads fast as they would like to. So how would you target and help those people and help them realize that, you know, it's gonna take time, it's not gonna come overnight? What would you recommend for that?
So when I ran my agency, one of my agreements that I would tell my clients is that I'm not Jesus. I'm not a miracle worker. I'm like, these things take time, but especially for realtors, and the market is real janky right now, I would tell them, like, get them on your list, and when people are ready, they're hot and ready. So just tell them, like, explain to them that little level of awareness where it's like some people are cold, you have to make them warmer. And just let them know, like, the housing buying process is very stressful for people. So they're not just gonna, you know, pick their realtor right away either. But leads is the best option for them for sure.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, y'all, see y'all in the back. Thank you so much.